Thank you, Rabbi Berger, for those inspiring words. I know some of you. I have hand sanitizer at my Seder. So I'm coming tonight from JT Connect's Monday night classes, where one of our classes they're spending this term looking at they're learning about the Holocaust, about the Shoah, and they're having a chance to actually meet survivors. And tonight was the first night that they met their survivor, and they're beginning to ask questions, beginning to understand their story. And there's so many questions to ask. And one of the questions that I find really remarkable is that during these incredibly difficult times, how people were able to show kindness to one another, how are they able to let their humanity out in these dark moments, and really show mercy on one another. And this is kind of the framework that I'm entering the night tonight. So I want to share a thought related to this from the Haggadah of Rabbi Menachem Kasher that I heard from Rabbi Moskowitz. Reb Kasher writes the following idea, that we fulfill the Maurer with Chazeret. And he writes, this is because Hashem had mercy on us. Well, why did Hashem have mercy on? How does Hashem have mercy on us? And I think on a simple level, if we want Hashem to have mercy on us, we need to have mercy on one another. We need to cut people slack and let things slide. And this is sometimes harder said than done, right? I was driving this morning, and someone cuts you off, right? And you want to be upset, you want to get mad, you want to yell and honk. But sometimes you cut people slack, and the more you cut people slack, Hashem also cuts us slack. One of the things that we ask is what made us deserving of mercy from God? Reb Kasher writes that it's found in the Midrash that Hashem saw that the Jewish people were having compassion on one another, and that when they were out in the fields making their brick, when one Jew completed his quota, what would he do? He could, after a full day of work, he could go home, take a rest, take his shoes off, and relax. But according to this Midrash, he didn't do that. He would help his fellow Israelites and wouldn't finish his work until everyone else had finished. And they didn't sit on the side. They said, I have to take care of my fellow Jew. And it was at this moment when Hashem saw that the Jews were helping one another, that he realized that this is a people that are worthy to have compassion on. And I think this is a really profound idea to think about, especially now as we're leaving or hoping to leave. We'll see which variants come, but as we're leaving the days of COVID, which are often in many days thought of as these time of isolation, loneliness. But for me, it's been it's been a time of kindness, and I think we've seen unbelievable kindness throughout COVID. I don't know if it meant anything to them, but I can think of the people who showed kindness to me during these dark times. I remember Shane Kessler, our president, making phone calls, or Rabbi Brander dropping off treats at our house. Just incredible moments of people just stepping out and saying, even though I'm having these hard times, I'm going through this, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to show compassion. And I think this is a really great thing that we can talk about at our Seder. What does it mean to show chesed, to show compassion, even in dark times? Because we are a caring, compassionate people. And we have to ask ourselves what it means to have compassion for another Jew, how we can show kindness, how we can do a better job, how we can look out for our neighbor and our neighbor's neighbor, and for strangers. And it's a question we should be asking our kids at the Seder table, but also a question I think we should be asking ourselves. The Satmar Rebbe writes an idea on this, that the whole Exodus we just discussed about is really predicated on this idea of chesed, of kindness, and it's how he understands halach ma'anya. So what made us worthy? What made worthy for God to redeem us? That we show kindness, and this is the start. This is the bread of affliction that our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. And how do we do that? How do we replicate that? And we invite people to our Seder. This is the bread of affliction that our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. All those who are hungry, let them enter and eat. All who are in need, let them come and celebrate Passover. And that's where we end the statement and have the confidence to say, now we are here, but next year in the land of Israel. This year we're slaves, but next year we'll be free. And what the Satmar Rebbe writes is that this is something where we're really taking note of our first exile. And that the ultimate geula that we'll have, we'll take notes from the first, and it will come from kindness. It'll come from a place where we're able to show what it means to be part of a community, how we can treat our friends, our family, and strangers. And so this Pesach, I think we should recommit ourselves, to have compassion, just like our ancient Israelite ancestors showed one another as slaves. What are some of the unbelievable moments of chesed that came out in the darkness of the Shoah? And also the kindness that we all experience and can think of during the dark days of COVID. Thank you.